Andrew, I know we're doing Q&A, but I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
How do I make a woman Fairy matchmaker, I have a question.
Go ahead.
How do I make a woman fall in love with me?
You cannot make a woman fall in love with you.
But you're my fairy matchmaker. Look at me.
I know, but you can't make anybody fall in love with you. You can't force it.
But I'm Nick Drossos.
And I'm Susan Alper.
But I'm Nick Drossos.
But I'm Susan Alper. You cannot make anybody fall in love with you.
Andrew? Hey guys, Nick Drossos.
Dr. Andrew Steinberg.
And welcome to another episode of
Have the balls to talk about it.
And our guest is back, Susan Alper,
The matchmaker.
the matchmaker.
The magic match.
And we have some Q&As.
Okay.
Got some questions.
Yeah. So people have been writing in since the first couple of shows, and I thought this would be a fun way an informative way to go and answer some of their questions. So here we go. We have not seen these questions yet. So I'm interested in a woman, even though she is not my type. I'm ready to change for her. Is that healthy?
I don't know. Change for her in which way? I mean, she's not my type. I'm going to change for her. I mean, it's a little
Vague.
yeah.
Well,
What's changing for her?
Well, I've done it before where I said, well, maybe I should be more, less, how do I say?
But don't we all try to like guess what the other person wants and try to be that person?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Not a good idea.
If I'm a little bit too intense, people told me you're a little bit too intense. You should. But that's who I am.
Right.
It's changing that, or a little bit too impulsive, or maybe too.
Well, okay, but that you can't change because you meet somebody and you're going to change overnight. You have to work on that.
Yeah.
So it's okay to if you meet somebody and you like each other, you could tell her, listen, I'm and make it in like a joking way. Don't be so intense person. But say, over dinner I could say, listen, you know what? I just want you to know I'm a little bit intense, but I'm working on it. Like, make it funny. You know what I'm saying? They come out, I'm intense, and I'm Then she's like, ooh, he's so intense. You know what I'm saying? Make a joke out of it.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good.
All right. Me and my partner are in an open relationship. Would you be willing to help us find another partner?
Absolutely not.
That's an
Why?
easy-
I don't believe in that. Either you're in or you're out. To me, doesn't make any sense.
Have you met couples like that? Because the couples I
No,
met,
but- yeah, no,
it's
no,
never
it's-
worked out.
No, but nobody's going to go pay me a fee to be a cheater or whatever, this open thing. No, they just go anywhere they want. No.
What's that swing club book about swinging? There's groups of swinging couples.
Yeah. I mean, listen, if they're into that, they certainly don't need me. They're not serious people. They don't care. They're just in a relationship. They probably don't even really want to be with each other. It's too expensive to get divorced.
Right.
So let's just stay in it and have a good time. That's the agreement. That's an easy agreement. If that works for you, go ahead.
That's what it is.
But not
Yeah.
your thing.
Yeah.
I want to date my best friend's ex. They were only together for a small time. Is it ethical, kosher, halal? We're covering all the bases here.
Yeah. Look, it's happened to me, and I didn't have a problem that the person dated my ex. I had a problem that my friend didn't come and tell me. Do you
Before.
understand? Before she did it.
You
yeah.
found out.
Yeah. So you have to be open. If it bothers somebody, then you have to decide what's more important, my old best friend or my new lover.
Right. Okay. I have a great life, financially stable. Can you find a non-serious relationship? I guess someone wants to, well.
Just have fun.
Okay, so why would you invest in my business when you could go have fun, you go to a bar, go online, go.
I don't know, maybe
go
someone wants to
hook
get
up.
a certain kind of person who
No.
also wants a non-serious relationship, like a
But
casual.
But why would they invest with the matchmaker to
Right.
be not serious? I can understand when they get to a certain age, they don't want to get married at 80, but they want companion and they still want to be
Right.
together. But no, I don't think anybody should invest if they're not serious.
Okay. How can kids change relationships?
Wow.
Well, today it's harder than ever
Why?
because the kids are very entitled. It's like I know in my day when my parents got divorced and they each found their partner, whether I liked them or not, I had to respect them. And today they don't have to respect you. The parents are afraid of the children. They're afraid of the children. So the kids, it's really tough at times. And
You've seen breakups over that?
oh, many. One of my girlfriends just got divorced from that.
But you're talking about of second relationships with previous kids.
Yeah, well, when they both come into a relationship either with kids or without kids, there's previous kids.
Right.
Yeah, it's a very tough because there's very big entitlement, and a lot of the parents have a very hard time to say. And for instance, if I find a lot of men will say to me, "I don't want any women with young children anymore," and I say, "Why?" Well, I had a really bad experience. They lived in my house. I paid the bills, but I wasn't allowed to set any rules.
They couldn't be a parent. They can only be
They could only be a provider.
right.
You know?
Which is kind of like, I want everything.
No,
But
it's my house, it's my rules. Why are you treating me like you're living in my house like you're doing me a favor? If I ask you to turn off the lights because the hydro bill is very high, don't tell me it's not, tell me, be rude.
Do you when you meet people, whether they mind kids or not kids, it's indifferent to you, is it?
That way,
Like if somebody says, I want, if she has kids, I'm not interested, or if she has kids.
well, okay, so here's an example. if the person has kids and the kids are good, you know what I mean? Then there's nothing wrong with the merging. But if I know that the kids are like, having issues and they're bad kids, I would never put my client in that position, But yeah, if the kids are well behaved and why not?
This question is actually, the next one is sort of I guess a play on that. I'm interested in somebody, but she has teenage kids. What should I do?
Well, she has teenage kids. There's nothing wrong with teenage kids. Again, it has nothing to do with those poor kids. The kids are like, hey, we're there.
It really comes out to the parenting.
It really comes out to the relationship.
But how do you coach someone to going into that, address it? It's. Can you prepare for this in any way?
Yeah, because I work mostly with the men, and it's the women going into the man's world, right? Mm-hmm. So, the thing they have to know that they're not the mother. Mm-hmm.
What do you mean they're not the mother?
They're not the mother. They're not going into this relationship because they're going to become a mother. Mm. They're going into this relationship to be with a man. His kids are his kids. Mm. He has to discipline his kids. And then, that's where you have to be really careful. Yeah. Or you hear about people who get remarried and the new wife doesn't want anything to do with his old kids. It's terrible.
Oh, that's terrible. Yeah.
But you hear about it every day.
But I have my son. I'm divorced. I'm thinking, if you take me, you take my son. We're a package. It's not like we're separate.
But the son also.
But I do the same when I meet somebody. Right. If she has a daughter, I don't know what you think of this, but as she is. While we're together, she's kind of my daughter when she's with me.
Of course,
take that same responsibility.
As long as she respects that. Yeah. Like I said, back in my day, we had to respect our parents' new partner, and today I'm finding more and more that they don't have to respect you. They don't have to make you feel comfortable. So that's where a lot of the relationships are breaking up over the children, because, like I said, you're living in the man's paying the bills. And yet the children are not respectful to his home. Right. You're not my father. Well, you're living in my house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's for the parents to make the rules, not the kids.
My wife of 40 years passed away recently. How long should I wait until I start a new relationship?
Well, that's a tough one, because you have people. I've had men come to me where the wife was actually pretty, brain dead, just in a home for 10 years before she died. So during that time, they ask you, is it appropriate for me to date? It's not for me to tell you to date. It's for you and your family to discuss that.
But for sure, it's different if someone dies in a car accident, or I have patients who come to me for erectile dysfunction or whatever, who are in a relationship with their wife who is let's say, going through dementia and really, yes, they're married, but she hasn't been around for years and are also talking about that with a lot of guilt but they feel that there's nothing left there in their marriage. He's taking care of her and he's providing and there for her for whatever way he can, but he's really alone.
Yeah.
So
well, that's a big that's it. So that's when people always ask me, is it appropriate for me to start dating? And I said, well, you have to. The family has to decide that.
Right. Well, that's the family. I mean, I know someone who the wife died, and he was in a relationship within weeks, and all the judges that sit and judge our lives,
It's true.
were saying what they had to say, but in reality, he was probably checked out emotionally years ago. Long before the day that she died.
I mean, it's like it's like a divorce.
Yeah.
You hear people get divorced, and then he has a girlfriend, but they're only divorced, 2 months.
Right.
Well, he was probably out of the marriage checked out a long time ago. It's just a matter of signing those papers.
Right.
Do you understand? So time, it has nothing to do with the timing. It has to do with when the person feels, and it's your life. You can't worry what people think because they don't know. No, I don't know what goes on in your house. I don't know what goes on. You could tell me whatever you want. I could believe it, but
behind closed doors,
you never know. That's why I always say to people, you know what? People who mask, they smile all the time. Everybody says, "Oh, that person's such a happy person." Yeah, but that could be a fake smile, and they go home and they're most miserable, or they're mean, or you don't know.
We talked about it in social media. I know some people who are in miserable marriages. Yeah. And I follow, and on Instagram they post these like loving sitting on
well, those are well, that's try harder to make it look good, right?
It's like, wow.
It's sad when you live a life like that. When I see that, and I know a few people, and one in particular personally, where I'm like, I know this woman is miserable. Yeah. But on camera, she looks like she's having the greatest life.
Our world has become a soap opera.
And then
it's fake.
It makes other people insecure who maybe are much happier.
Yeah, of course.
Authentically. Maybe it's not perfect, but they're happier looking at them and saying, wow, they're so happy. Why aren't we? And then it just creates this disillusion of everybody trying to be happy and compete and thinking the other person's happier and what's missing from my life.
Right.
And then it makes women go out and, cheat or break up or think I need to be like...
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's so important that when you post on your Facebook or your social, whatever you want to post, you have to be careful what you post because everybody's reading it different.
Absolutely.
I could read it. I could look at one couple and say, oh, they're really miserable, because I kind of know these things, but they're so miserable and they're trying so hard because you could see it. Yeah. Do you understand? But that's a part of our world. Whether they're happy, whether they're not happy, everybody wants to be famous. And everybody's living in a soap opera life. Sure. Soap opera life is when you die and you come back, and there's no such thing as you come back when you die. But this is what we're bringing up. Like, people are like, oh.
Sex in the City.
Yeah. Like, it's just that everybody wants to be famous.
What do you think of that show, being a matchmaker?
What, Sex in the City?
Yeah.
I loved it.
What did you... I actually saw it.
Yeah.
I saw a couple, and I thought it was...
People always said I was either the PR girl, what was her name? I reminded them of the PR girl, which I'm not like her at all. Maybe personality, but and Sarah Jessica Parker.
I thought it was all distorted. I think that women who see it gives a false.
Why?
I think it's all cheating. It's all
no. It wasn't cheating. No, it wasn't really. I mean, no. It was the PR girl who really didn't want to be in any serious relationship. She just always wanted to have I think it's actually good. Forget it being women. If it would have been 4 men, it wouldn't have been as good.
No, we need 4 men have the balls to talk about it. That's what we
talk
need.
about it, but not the sex.
And a show. But if men had that show, we'd be all pigs. We'd be all
because there's only one pig, the PR, the guy that sleeps around.
I never saw that.
But
I saw a couple.
But if you know what, there's nothing wrong, okay, with being that way. If you admit to being that way.
Absolutely, good point.
Do you understand?
If you own it, and I'm like that.
That's it. If you want to be, if you never want to get married and you just want to be with different, but as long as you're honest about it, you're not hurting anybody.
And you're not wasting people's time by getting into
I'm not interested to get married. I'm gonna, I'll have a good time with you. If you say it the way you see it is, then there's no reason that it doesn't work for both of you. But the problem is If you go in with, with fake promises, it's going to backfire.
That's what it is.
And that's when you become the jerk and the asshole, and
Thank you for coming back and answering some of these questions.
It's great.
Susan, thank you
We're
very
happy
much.
again
Thank you,
for
guys.
sure.
Here, I think Susan deserves
The
to
golden
have
balls.
The golden balls. Look at her.
Woo!
She wants to play with them. Squeeze them.
Woo! I don't know. My boyfriend may get a little jealous.
Give me back my balls.
They're mine.